My name is Peter Kuri, as he said, and I'm the CEO and founder of Solai Coffee. It's a direct trade business focusing on farm to table. So we are trying to eliminate unnecessary intermediaries and represent ourselves in the market. My dad's dream was also to one day be able to represent himself in the coffee market without going through intermediaries. So when I got here, after staying for a couple of years, I came to realize that my dad is not going to come to America to sell his own coffee. I was the person who was going to help him achieve that dream. If you can find a way, and the government of Kenya is really helping a lot of us, I couldn't be exporting coffee if they didn't have the policies that allowed us to get those marketing licenses and the export licenses. A lot of our farmers are now taking advantage of that, but they do not have access to the market. We are here. We have access to the people who consume the most coffee in the world, actually. It's the second most consumed beverage in the US after water. When we go to Kenya, we are packing up with our suitcases to bring gifts for our friends here. So instead of packing that coffee and bringing it one time in a year, why don't we just join hands and try to advocate for these farmers with the products that we have so that these people that we're bringing coffee back to our friends, they can drink that coffee all year round. So we launched this business as an incentive to the farmers to find that right market. But our main focus, for me as a young man, is to bring the youth back to the farms. And the only incentive right now to bring these people back to the farm is if they can fetch a good price for the coffee.
Solution Sacco is, as has been mentioned, is a Sacco that is licensed and registered in Kenya. It's a Tier 1 Sacco that shows strength, and we've been there for 30 years. We just celebrated 30 years anniversary on the 30th of June this year. So that tells you that we have been consistent in creating accounts and giving people opportunity to save and utilize their savings to do projects. So how does this work? We'll give you an opportunity here today to open a share capital account. A share capital account is an account that gives you the opportunity to be among the owners of a SACCO. So SACCOs operate through membership, and members are the owners of that SACCO. That's why it is important that you have a share capital account. So to open a share capital account, you will need to deposit 30,000 Kenya shillings, and moving forward, you can choose to grow your deposits or your shares, or maybe you'll want to grow your fixed deposit account. So the fixed deposit account is the account that you open after you are a member. So you'll start by opening a share capital account, then you have your fixed deposit account. And here, I'm here to encourage you to open a gold fixed deposit account whose minimum requirement is 20,000 Kenya shillings. But you can continue growing your deposits to as high as your saving targets. It could be 1 million, it could be 100,000, depending with how much you want to put in terms of savings. So for that matter, under that backdrop of regulation, Solution Sacco has an investment vehicle, which is called Solution Sacco Housing and Investment. This is an investment vehicle that gives you an opportunity to buy land that is either owned by Solution Sacco. Right now we have land selling in Nanyuki, or to buy land from any other part of the country in Kenya that is of interest to you. So what you do, you enroll as a member of Solution Sacco Housing and Investment, and then you bring your documents for the land that you have identified to buy and request for a loan to be able to buy that piece of land.
I'd like to give you a brief about 88 Nairobi, what it is all about, and why it is a really good opportunity to invest back home. So 88 Nairobi, there is Jonathan Jackson. He is the developer of the project and under the Lordship Group. And so we have a project in Nairobi, and specifically in Upper Hill. And why Upper Hill? Upper Hill hosts around 40,000 people, and we are talking about the business community in Nairobi. We are talking about the insurances, we are talking about the hospitals, we are talking about the embassies. And so really there's a high demand for residential developments in Upper Hill, and therefore 88 has come on board to bridge this gap. And therefore we are talking in 2-3 years time, there will be really a high competition, very high competition in terms of getting residential units in Upper Hill. So 88 Nairobi is the tallest residential building in Africa. We are 47 floors high, and we're talking about 150 meters high. And so we have apartments for sale and for investment really. We have studio apartments, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedroom apartments. All come fully furnished, and our furniture and interiors are top notch because we source all our interiors from Turkey. And actually, Jonathan goes to the shop and selects each of the interior specifications to his liking, to the switches, to the lights, to the furniture. He goes and handpicks them. And so, apart from the apartments we are offering, we are also having from below the 9th floor, we have 8 floors of parking to cater for the 300 apartments that we have, and therefore we have 500 parking slots. And to cater for that, we do not want our residents to drive up into the 8th floor, driving and parking their cars. Therefore, to cater for that, we are having valet parking. I'm sure people in Washington know valet parking, and therefore that is quite unique, and it's something we are trying to embrace in Nairobi, and especially under this project. Other amenities in 88, we have at the 33rd and 34th floor, we have something quite unique happening there. We have a sunset deck. We have a 21-meter swimming pool with heated tiles, and therefore you don't need to worry during the cold season. Yeah, utaogopa kuingia kwa swimming pool. So 21-meter swimming pool is there for you. We also have the 88 bar. We have a VIP lounge, and just you go up there, overlook the sunset as you just sit at the sunset deck. Other amenities include a convenience store down at the ground floor, and really the convenience store comes in handy because with the nitty-gritties that you miss in your apartment, stationery, the sugar, the toiletries, instead of driving down into a mall, then you're able to get these small things at the convenience store. Apart from that, we have the spas, we have the gym, we have the salon, we have restaurants, and also co-working spaces, because we are bringing in the business community together, and therefore we have created co-working spaces and business rooms to just continue with their normal business schedules without getting into the busy city, without getting into the congested areas in Nairobi.
There's at least 100 people in this room. If each of the fellows on each of these tables, that would be a board and a business by itself. So I would say talk about property management and real estate. The other one is health and health IT. I see my good friend George Mwangi here, who runs an IT consulting firm. And you will find that there are lots of innovation hubs in Kenya. I think Nairobi has the highest number of innovation hubs in Africa. They need to be connected here to look for specific areas, be it in health, be it in energy, be it in construction, but just technology in all of these other areas.
Our foundation, AfriThrive, is a belief that our African continent or our African diaspora, let me just put it, we are really rich in diversity. Our culture is strong, and coming in diaspora should not be a factor to stop enjoying our culture. And so AfriThrive stands to connect the African culture into the diaspora through the various programs that we offer. In the many ways that I want to share what we have been able to do in the last 4 years, we provide what we call culturally appropriate food. So in the community, we have distributed so far 1 million pounds of food that has gone into the community. And for us, it's not just giving food. It's about reconnecting our people with our culture. We're working with the young people to ensure that we're guiding them the right way, because we see the challenges they face of not being Americans and not being Africans. So they are in between. We are bringing them up, they are facing a different world. And so AfriThrive is that connection that is holding the youth to make sure that they're having the direction.
We can change the course of lives and ultimately build a better society for all. This event, at least for me, enshrined in me the importance of giving back to the community, of using my talents to uplift others. I thought, what if we could create a society where opportunities for other people were front and center? What type of society would we have? And that's how Wire was born, and it became the driving force behind our company. You see, helping create change for those around you begins with empathy. When you have walked in another's shoes, it is easier to understand where the shoe pinches. As a Kenyan immigrant, this carries profound consideration. We exist to provide a safe space accessible for our community to build their financial lives. This is a debit card. But the interesting thing is it's who that debit card is for. This is my debit card. It says David Washira. I can pass it around. But the logo on the debit card is what's capturing. It says Wire. I can swipe this debit card anywhere. We're that long-awaited financial institution for immigrants in the United States, started by us, for us, by people who understand specifically our pinch points.
Indeed, Chams Media and Alex Jamwada, if one is to say, is indeed a friend and partner of the mission and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign and Diaspora Affairs in promotion of the diaspora agenda. We are happy that you are here and have an interest in what takes place in this country and back at home. We attach significance to the US and in our relations with the business community in this country, or even with the establishment in this country. The presence of our diaspora, or where our Kenyans are, makes it much easier for the embassy to operate, because some of the people we deal with are close friends of yours. Some of you support them even during their election campaigns. Beyond the private sector, please endeavor to engage even the American public side. There are opportunities under USAID. There are opportunities that you can get even under the framework of Prosper Africa. There are credit facilities that they also get for those of you who are dual citizens, also for even the Development Finance Corporation. Please venture into what Karenga was talking about, what George is talking about. You, as a Kenyan, but an American citizen at the same time, can take advantage of such opportunities in their desire to promote investment in Africa. The country is ready for investment, and so if we can attract more from this country to Kenya, it will be in our wider interest. The US is important to us because it is also our second largest export destination after Uganda. We believe that when more awareness is created and we have more people venturing, we can be able to export more to the US and also to diversify the export products that we are selling to the US. We are trading with the US currently, like many other 39 African countries, under the framework of African Growth and Opportunities Act, AGOA. It allows duty-free, quota-free exports to the US from Kenya and these other African countries. But Kenya, which is rated to be the largest utilizer of AGOA for non-mineral products, we're hardly utilizing 30%. The whole of Africa is hardly utilizing 30% of what America offers for them. Investment, as we're talking about in Kenya, guarantees you and your friends or your partners access to the East African Community Market, which you're aware of, the COMESA market, and even the All of Africa, CFTA, that, of course, you can reassure your partner, your friend, that by investing in Kenya, they'll be able to access this wider market and the goods that they'll be selling from Kenya to that larger market of EAC, COMESA, and CFTA will be duty-free, quota-free, and we have protection for it. Our laws protect foreign investors as our domestic investors too, and so we are also comfortable to say we are the most liberalized economy in Africa, in sub-Saharan Africa. The 5 major pillars of this particular relationship with the United States, one is on economic prosperity pillar, matters of trade and investment and tourism. As Alex was talking about, it is under that banner that Kenya has also been engaging in negotiations with the United States for the establishment of a framework for trade and investment with or without AGOA. If AGOA is renewed, well and good. If AGOA is not renewed, it should find that we have a framework for continuity in our economic relations with the United States. The second one is on defense cooperation. The third one is on governance, democracy, and civilian security. The fourth one is on regional and multilateral cooperation. And last but not least, we introduced the health pillar because of the importance and the major contributions that the US still does on matters health, not only to Kenya, but to many African countries. What is important now is how we can be able to market and position ourselves to utilize the African market, but at the same time also to make us remain competitive. Competitiveness is a challenge also for exporting to the US. If your goods are more expensive than goods available in the US from other markets, you may not be able to sell as much. But from the government point of view, we have put in place everything required to enable Kenyans take a lead and access Africa-wide free market as the desire is. Our desire is to increase exports to the US and to attract more tourists more investors from the US to Kenya, and also if you can continue to visit and encourage more Americans to visit too. In that way, you'll help us to create jobs and create wealth back in Kenya.